Good afternoon, everybody. This is Chef Omar for Nutrition. We are going to be covering Chapter 5, which is over proteins. Okay, I know there might be a little bit of glare on my glasses, but I'm sorry, but I want to let you know we are going to have a new group that we are going to broadcast to, and that is to the face-to-face as well. Okay, and so it just will not be the online course. The face-to-face will also get this YouTube uh, introduction of the chapter as well. So to help everybody to kind of see what we're all doing together, and if there's any questions, you all could see each other in the hallway, because I know that you just don't have this class, you have other classes. So let's go ahead and get started. So you know proteins, they're very important to our body, and we need to uh, get these. And there's a lot of different types of proteins that are out there, but the most important one, the one that we need to think about first is the amino acids, and how it states in page 126. It states that amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. Okay, and here's a very important fact where it says there are 20 different ones. Okay, nine. It says of these 20, nine either cannot be made in the body or cannot be made in their quantities. You must get these amino acids from food in order for your body to function properly. This is why we call them essential amino acids. The remaining 11 can be made in the body, and so they are called non-essential amino acids. All right, so amino acids become important when discussing vegetarian diets, which we're going to later address within the chapter. But we also have to make sure that we read the chapter, because that's what we're going to be doing when we go over this. All right, and some of the examples, proteins found in animal and plant foods. Animal foods such as beef, chicken, fish, and dairy products have more protein than plant foods. All right, most meat, protein, poultry, and fish provides at least 20 grams of protein in 3-ounce servings. One glass of milk has about 8 grams of protein. All right, so it's very essential that you get yourself familiar with that. Okay, so make sure you do that as well. Make sure you look on page 127. It gives you on table 5.1 proteins with saturated fat fibers in animal and plant food. Look over that; it's very important. Okay, and then we're going to talk about completed proteins, incompleted proteins, limited and complementary proteins. All right, and so let's talk about complete proteins. Complete proteins, and what that is, complete proteins. And I'm not gonna read the definition what's on the side of the chapter. I'm gonna read what's actually in the paragraph. All right, and it said food proteins that provide all the essential amino acids in the proportion needed in the body by called high quality proteins or complete proteins. And the good thing about this, when you read inside the chapter, it gives you more of an example than it does in the definition. Examples of complete proteins provide complete proteins include the animal proteins such as meat, poultry, fish, eggs, milk, and other dairy products. So, what does that mean? When I read out of the paragraph that that's where the questions are going to come out from, versus the definition on the side, because it's going to be kind of vague. So make sure you read inside the chapter. And also, when we talk about incomplete proteins, it is plant proteins includes dry beans and peas, grains, vegetable, nuts, seeds are incomplete proteins, and they are low in one or more essential amino acids. All right, the essential amino acid is low in concentrate in proteins. It refers to as a limited amino acid because it limits the protein's usefulness in the body unless other foods in the diet contain it. So if it doesn't contain it, then you know you need to make sure you get it from somewhere else. All right, and then we go into complementary proteins, and that is when certain plant foods such as peanut butter and whole wheat bread are eaten over the course of a day, that they limit amino acids in these proteins, and it's supplied by other foods such as combinations that are called so much complete proteins. All right. So make sure you read over that. We go to page 129, and this is probably going to be a good question for possibly for a quiz question or a test question. And this states, by having dairy and legumes, grains, nuts, or seeds, you can also have more of a complete protein, right? And you do not have to eat complete proteins at the same meal to get the benefit of a complete protein. All you really have to do is just eat complete proteins over the course of a day. So, you know, it's not saying you have to eat it all at one time. Just eat it over a course of a time frame throughout that day, just not all at one time. And some plant food proteins, which you can get the protein from, is soybeans or quinoa are complete proteins. And which some of them we don't really get, but is a good source where you can get that protein as well. All right, and then we're going to go to DNA. All right, we're not going to be kind of CSI, but we're talking about DNA to where which it is your genetic information, all right, in which it's kind of the map of how your genes work. And it's the segment of which your DNA molecules are called genes, and the genes carry a particular set of instructions that allows your cells to produce something, often proteins such as enzymes. You have thousands of genes in your cells with instructions to make huge numbers of different proteins, right? So you need to make sure that you go over that and understand what that is. Understand that protein functions as part of the body's structure. For example, proteins can be found, is really, really important that the protein functions as part of the body's structure. For example, proteins can be found in the skin, the bone, the muscle, the hair, the fingernails, muscles, blood vessels, digestive tract, and the blood. All right. Proteins can also give structure to individual cells. Also, to a certain extent, it is the glue that keeps us all together. Yeah, that's actually a really good test question too. So make sure you highlight that within your book. Also, I want you to look where it's near the end of the page on 130. The greatest amount of protein is needed when the body is building new tissue rapidly. And what we're talking about right there is with during pregnancy or infancy, a newborn baby requires 9 grams of protein each day for the next 6 months. Additional protein is needed when the body protein is lost or destroyed as an infection or after surgery. So what that's really talking about is when we have to, we go into surgery, our body is weakened, and it has to build up and kill off infections and things of that nature, all right? And just to let you know that enzymes that we need, that we have in our body, this is what they're going to help provide, all right? So the enzymes that we have in our body, they help break down the substance such as food during your digestion. It helps builds up substance such as your bones, and then change one substance into another, such as glucose, into your blood cells. And then make sure you look over about the hormones, antibodies, all right? And also vegetarians. Vegetarians are what do vegetarians eat? In the United States has been on an increase for some time. And what do they eat? A lot of vegetarians, they eat legumes, dried beans and peas, whole grains, and vegetables. Vegetarians' entrees, such as red beans and rice, can be supplied an adequate protein and other nutritions in a healthy meal. So that is their protein substitute. Also, there is also talking about there's 3 different types of vegetarians. You have lacto-ovo vegetarian, lacto-vegetarian, and vegan vegetarian. Make sure you know which to differentiate which one each one of those are as well. And then you need to, and this is on page 132. this is in the middle of the page. It says, why do people become vegetarians? And for many reasons, it's a sustainable, economical, ethnicity, because of the ethnic group, and religious benefits. Obviously, for economics, it's, it doesn't cost a lot. You don't have to go out. You can actually grow your own food. You could be sustainable with it. For religious benefits, some certain religions say you can't eat fried foods, you can't eat pork and things of that nature. So that's why a lot of people become vegetarians, and it's and it can be healthy as it is healthier. It's not. It is healthy. It's a healthier way to become. So, and also, if you look on page 23, can vegetarians diets provide all the nutrients? It can provide some, but not all. Nutrients can become nutrients can that may be a concern that sometimes they might not get. For vegans include vitamin B, which they don't get all. Is the vitamin B, vitamin D, calcium, iron, zinc, and some omega-3 fatty acid. So sometimes they can't get it all, so they're gonna have to get it from another source. So make sure you look over that, and the other meat substitute. Since they can't eat meat, they have to get substitute. Which, if you look on page 135, some of the substitute that they can eat is soy meat. I mean, they can eat tofu. They can drink soy milk, soy nuts, soy sauce, miso, bean paste. So there is different types of proteins that are out there for them, alternatives. So make sure that this is a really good chapter to go over. There is some guidelines on page 136 as well. Make sure, and there is some other dietary recommendations for protein that is really, really good. It is on page 139. Make sure you read that. It's on page 139, and it's the process for food for long term, and how much too much protein, what it does to the kidneys as well. And then on page 141, it talks about adults, how much protein adults should get, to 10 to 35% of total calories from proteins. Make sure you look over that. And that's and when you do that, then we go into the culinary tips. So it's a really good chapter, things that you need to look over. Make sure you read your chapter. Another thing that we need to go over before we're done, make sure that you do chapter 5 assignment, discussion number 2. I will post a review for exam number 1 over chapter 1 and number 4. And people that are online, I will let you will have till a certain time, and I will post that as well. And people online must submit their handwritten review online. So you have to do a PDF and send that in to me on a certain time, and you will have that. And I will give you all that information tonight, so you all can have it. Make sure you turn it in on a timely manner. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, send me a message on Moodle, call me. I think things are going pretty well. If you have a concern of your grades or anything like that, please let me know. I'm here to help. And let's have another great week. And and I'm glad to see that we're able to put the class on for the face-to-face on Monday. All right. See you guys later. Make sure y'all do your work. And can't wait to see you guys. Let's have another great week. Bye-bye.